Born unique, my journey of courage and compassion. Do not judge me until you know my story. My name is Phali and I'm an intersex person. I was born and bred in Ghana, and I discovered later in my life that I was born with intersex traits after several health complications. I'm currently the community mobilizer and organizer of Intersex Person Society of Ghana. My journey of self-acceptance led me to a profound realization that it is better to build my own table, choosing who sits around me, than to fight for a spot at a table I am not welcomed. Growing up in a single-room apartment surrounded by family, especially my maternal uncles and aunties, provided a sense of community where we were each other's keepers. Despite societal expectations, I welcomed my differences. I embraced my differences, displaying tomboy traits that set me apart from my peers. From climbing trees to playing football, I found solace in the company of boys, often wearing hand-me-downs from my uncle. However, as puberty approached, my body began to defy norms. I was dubbed Baze, a nickname reflecting my masculine traits and features, and my love for sports. Yet beneath the surface, my health struggles loomed. Frequent hospital visits attributed to jaundice and sometimes illnesses that could not be diagnosed. Unexplained pains marked my childhood. As adolescence dawned, menstrual irregularities and cramps became my reality. Despite physical changes, including curvier contours, my health remained precarious, highlighting a series of undiagnosed alignments. This continued up to my adolescence. Irregular periods, painful cramps, and an array of unexplained health issues became the backdrop of my teenage years. My body was doing its own thing, and I didn't understand why. I struggled with things like irregular periods and painful cramps, but I kept going on, determined to figure it out. Yet, amidst the chaos, I remained steadfast in my resolve to understand and accept myself, determined to navigate the murky waters of adolescence with resilience and grace. As an adult, I faced even bigger challenges. It wasn't until adulthood that a series of health problems led to an extensive medical checkup, which came to the realization that I had an enlarged uterus and also ovarian cysts. Through several medical examinations, doctors diagnosed me of having a condition called hyperandrogenism. Hyperandrogenism, which meant that I was producing too many male hormones. My condition led to several challenges, which eventually led to several surgeries and treatments. It wasn't an easy journey. It was really tough, but I found strength in advocating for others like me, fighting for acceptance and understanding. Wrestling with fear and uncertainty, I delved into research, which led me into uncovering a community of intersex persons, sharing similar experiences. Despite temporary relief, persistent pain and symptoms continued, worsening my health condition. Determined to have control over my health, I went back for a series of tests and examinations, which led to the discovery that I had congenital adrenal hyperplasia. I had to undergo surgery in November 2022. After the surgery, I had several post-operative complications. Some were treated with pain reliefs, but then the pain persisted until 2023, when I had the opportunity to travel outside the country, where I had another attack, which was very complicated. And this led to several tests that discovered that I had undeveloped or underdeveloped male organs and other complications or complexities.
Intersex is a variation or disorders that determine a male or female appearance or behavior. What motivated me to take part in this intersex advocacy? Personal experiences with friends and family. So I realized some of my friends and family members are being stigmatized in the society. So I, as a medical officer, want to help advocate the intersex so that more people will know more about the intersex.
With the intersex issue, I see it as something that is similar to other deformities that children come into the world with. And personally, I am a Down's syndrome parent, and I know how it feels like. So when I had the insight into intersex, I really felt that no, it is something that we must all really get on board to help people understand, let society know of it. We shouldn't hide it from people, because they would be going through a lot of challenges, because when you have people who are really having this kind of disorder, it really brings a lot of pressure on the parents, on society, and if people don't really know much about it, it becomes a very big problem that really worries the person involved and people who are around, especially the nuclear family and probably the families around. So that really motivated me, because I believe that if we all get on board and let education go wide, it would really help as people have, like they say, autism or maybe Down syndrome or other kind of deformities. When people get to know much about it, we can really, help to accept them in society and make our lives better for all of us, because they are part of us, that they are just different human beings, but we must all accept them so that we can all be one.
In the same 2021, I discovered about an intersex child that was abandoned at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Imagine being a helpless baby born with ambiguous genitalia and abandoned by your parents and left at the hospital. In February 2022, I encountered a heartbreaking situation where an intersex child that was born with an ambiguous genitalia was left at the hospital by the parents. The mother left the child at the hospital and left. And the orphanage homes could not cater for this child because the child was born with an intersex condition, that is the ambiguous genitalia. Realizing the situation, I decided to follow up and go to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, the Child Health Unit, where I met with the child and realized that truly this child was born with an ambiguous genitalia. However, because there were complications, it was difficult to adopt this baby so that this baby will have the care and love that they deserve. Unfortunately, due to the bureaucratic nature of situations surrounding adoption in Ghana, it was difficult to adopt this baby. A month or so later, I heard the child has died due to lack of care and love. Imagine if in Ghana we had a lot of awareness, sensitization, and education on intersex issues. The parents of this baby would not have been scared, would not have seen this child as a taboo or a curse, but they would have embraced the child with love, care, and understanding. Probably this child could not have died. The death of this child epitomized the dire consequences of societal ignorance and neglect. This heartbreaking encounter underscored the urgency and awareness and support that intersex individuals, especially intersex children, need to be given. Intersex children undergo what we call intersex genital mutilation, especially those who are born with ambiguous genitalia. And this can become problematic when the child grows up and their internal hormones or their chromosomes do not align with the typical binary notion of male or female. Imagine a child being born as a girl, but then their chromosomes, instead of being XX, becomes an XXY, or a male born with an extra X chromosome, instead of having an XY, having an XXY. This is the challenge that we are facing as intersex people in Ghana. There is need for more education and awareness creation.
Education and advocacy is key, because if the people don't understand the intersex, what intersex is, they can't really involve themselves. And this is not like one-way communication. It's involved the whole health workers educating themselves about the intersex condition, staying updated on it, revising our awareness among colleagues. There could be also advocacy within the health system, whereby policies will be pushed to protect the intersex rights within the hospitals. There can also be research. So if there are more research on intersex, we can help in advocating intersex in the hospital as a whole.
In terms of the government really supporting people with intersex issue, I believe that the way we have laws or bylaws or acts, when they are able to, go and discuss this issue in Parliament, and an act is passed to really, also help them and incorporate them in society, it will really help. Like when it comes to human rights, we all know that the Chapter 5 of our Constitution that talks about the fundamental human rights in this country something can also be carved out of that section to really protect them, because they are part of us, and we cannot say that they should be left out. But for them to really have a real, legal backing, we need an act that would really help to support them so that they can also be accepted everywhere they go. In terms of maybe probably going to school, having some privileges, they have to be protected and they have to be covered by law, so that they can also feel comfortable and then work or maybe live like us as normal people. The education goes on, there are more programs, so maybe community-based programs. We have programs in churches, we have programs in schools, and like the way we have, let's say, HIV Day or maybe Malaria Day. When it's time for the Intersex Persons Day, we should also try and then amplify it so that we can have that leverage to bring people on board and educate them, for them to understand that we have people like this and we must live with them. We should also let people know that there is something that we call intersex, and let them understand it very well and really describe it to them, that they should not be thinking it's something else or something else different. But we have persons like that and they have their challenges. We have to also try and let them understand that it is not by their fault. It is not by it's purely biological, and they came into the world with it. We cannot kill them, we cannot remove them out of the place. So we must also try to make sure that we educate people, for people to understand how they come about and how we have to live with them, and make sure that we all make sure that we live well and then move on, so that we don't discriminate. And then some people would have them somewhere and say maybe they are evil people, they have to be killed, they have to be ostracized. No. The understanding should be there, so that you can also keep them, because you can also give birth to one. I can give birth to one. Who knows? Nobody really dreamt of giving birth to an intersex person. But then we must also try to let them understand that it is biological. It can come up just like people who are sickle cell, just like people who are maybe Down syndrome. There are other ones. So we must also make sure that people are come to understand, so that we can live together in peace.
A call to action to all citizens of Ghana and to all people all over the world. We are all born different, and that's what makes us special. Let's stand together to support each other and break down barriers. Let's not forget that the babies born into this world with unique traits like the intersex child I try to help deserve love, care, just like any other person, irrespective of their gender or irrespective of their sexual organs. Some people are born and their sexual organs does not depict that of a male or a female. Some people are born with chromosomes that do not depict that of a male or a female. If we say XX is female and XY is male, what happens to those who are born with quadruple X? What happens to those who are born with XXY? What happens to those who are born with XYY? Let's accept people for how God Almighty created them. Let's love one another. Let's be welcoming. My name is Phali, and I'm proud of my journey. I've faced challenges, but I've also found compassion and strength along the way. Let's keep rewriting the stories of intersex identities, one step at a time. Together, we can build a world where everybody feels loved, accepted for who they are. Today, as a community organizer and mobilizer of Intersex Persons Society of Ghana, I am committed to fostering understanding, advocating for legal reforms, and amplifying intersex voices. Together, we strive to empower individuals like me to live authentically, free from stigma, shame, and discrimination. The only way we can empower intersex individuals is to educate and raise awareness, to combat stigma, to advocate for legal reforms, to protect intersex rights, to advocate for the ban on intersex genital mutilation, to ensure access to respectful health care, to build supportive networks for empowerment, and to promote inclusive policies across societies, and to also uphold autonomy or bodily autonomy for intersex identities. I am an intersex person and I'm proud.